I never thought this would happen. Right now, a round of applause for fake people in the crowd, huh? That's kind of funny to me. They must think I'm a dummy. Nobody was hitting me up like I was a snake. Until they see me on IG looking like I own the bank. I'm like, this world is a game and I went up a rank. I seen that and like Biggie, I lost faith. What it do? It's your boy Chimmy the General Man, and we back with another video. Let's go. Yeah, y'all know what time it is, man. Today, we got a good video. We got former C.I.A. Chef for Disguise breaks down 30 spy scenes from film and TV. So just imagine, a person that really did the stuff get to critique the movies, basically say if it's real or not, or what would they do, or, you know what I'm saying? That's what we getting into. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, man. You already know what time it is, man. Let's get to it, man. You dig?
Yeah, baby. Oh, that's very nice.
That is sick.
Hi, my name is
That's
John
a sick.
Mendez.
You may recognize her from our previous Wired video.
I was chief of disguise at the CIA. Today, I'm breaking down clips from movies and TV about spies and disguise. Roll clip. This is a box of passports and the Bourne identity. This is not the reality. There is no box of passports. There are no huge bundles of money, no guns. This sort of denigrates the expertise required to do alternate identity documents. It's painstaking, it's meticulous.
Can you check another name for me?
We don't do them just in case.
John Michael King.
They're too precious.
Yeah.
You do them one by one as they're needed. They're not waiting for you around the world.
I don't know about that picture. I don't know who I am.
Dyeing hair, Homeland.
Traveling alone? Small say.
I'm sorry?
I asked if you're traveling alone.
Yes. Carrie's disguise, which basically consisted of dyeing her hair,
Just get it over with, okay?
I thought was absolutely ineffective. Still Carrie with dark hair.
Right.
She could have cut her hair, restyled it.
That's not necessary.
She could have changed her makeup.
How long did
She could have put on some glasses to hide that kind of crazy-eyed look that she has that,
Right.
Tell me.
jumps out at you when you see her character.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I didn't think that was effective at all.
Why are you doing
Right.
this to me?
See, that's why
And
movies
still in
be
scene
fake,
with
man.
Alias, she dyes her hair in a bathroom before she goes through security.
Can I see your passport? Usually this one? I think it's too light for me. What do you think?
What she did was absolutely spot on.
Thank you.
And she didn't just dye her hair, she dyed it outrageously red, and then adopted the whole thing that went with it,
Right.
including chewing gum while she's walking through the airport. And then she has that back and forth with the airline agent. I thought that was a brilliant scene.
It's pretty on you.
Right.
This is a great example of distracting someone,
The lipstick you use. I love it.
sweet talking to them,
I love it. Totally pops.
getting them engaged and getting them away
Right.
from the things you don't want them looking at.
Window or aisle?
We could have used that as a training film.
I know.
Right.
Long-term alias, The Americans.
Have you been, Martha?
His disguises were convincing.
Tell me what you saw.
He was comfortable in them. His wigs were excellent.
Go on.
He was never trying to look good. He was trying to fit these characters that he had built.
Right.
He came really close to projecting the little gray man that we always would talk about at CIA. That was something.
And this is crazy just to think about, like, you hearing her talk about it, like, think about it, like, from her perspective, she been through it already. So she knows, oh yeah, this, okay, you know what I'm saying, this will work and this don't work. So it's even dope just to hear what she did during her pastime.
Times, often, that was the goal. You wanted to be forgettable.
We have to safeguard their security.
Officers getting into disguise is a lot like method acting. The look is part of it, but if you're going to wear it for more than a minute, You need to inhabit it.
Have you been, Martha?
And that's what he does.
Big day at FBI counterintelligence.
He becomes the guy in the disguise, the bureaucrat, the nerd.
Did you get a look inside this time?
The actor in him combined with the disguise. I thought he was brilliant.
Thank you.
The next clip is Quick Change, Mission Impossible 3.
Niggas ain't doing that, bro. We
I
have a
talked
heart
about
attack.
Quick Change previously for Wired. Quick Change is the ability to clandestinely change your appearance. You have 37 seconds to come out with those changes. It was not unusual for us to layer disguises. So you'd have the true person, and then he would wear disguise number 1, and then on top of that would be disguise number 2. We would never let that piece of a disguise fly away. That's evidence.
I need you to trust me.
There are 3 covers that are basically off limits to CIA, and that would be a religious figure, media figure, and Peace Corps. Not that we don't like the Peace Corps, we love the Peace Corps, but it has to stay kind of pure.
You gotta do what's right.
It cannot be suspected of harboring CIA officers, can you imagine?
No.
Priests are so vulnerable, they're just out there. If they're accused of being a spy, they don't have any structure to protect them, they're too vulnerable.
God damn it.
We also don't use the media as a cover, same reason.
And it's good.
For another example of quick change, take a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think the change into the schoolgirl outfit was actually very well done. It demonstrates a great precept that we always operated under, and that is that basically the bigger the crowd, the more forgiving they are. If you want to change your clothes in public, you can do lots of things you would never dream of doing. No one pays any attention. That's the whole point. We used that a lot in our training exercises back here.
Great.
It was always a way to lose surveillance. You have surveillance, and you have to get away from them to do whatever you need to do.
Talk to you soon.
Surveillance isn't following her face. They never are. They're following her profile. Profile was a blonde wearing dark rimmed glasses and a pencil skirt, and she just removed all of those pieces. It was well done.
Thank you.
And so to look at another shot.
That's dope, man. Like, that's crazy. To be like, yeah. And you don't even think of it. You just be like, yeah, they can only do that in movies. But you can actually do that in real life. And people done it in real life. I'm like, nigga, that's
Baby
crazy.
driver.
Let's go. Yeah.
As you can see, this time the alarms go off. The intent was good. The execution was okay.
Right,
But
because
again, you have to ask yourself, would we really recommend that? Because the odds of him getting caught and arrested for shoplifting are just too great. If you have everything with you at the beginning and you start revealing it, you start removing things, and you have a bag where you can store some things, and maybe even a bag to put that bag in, that works, but we don't recommend stealing it.
right.
Blending in with the crowd, Casino Royale.
He's on the move. He's on the move and he's heading straight for me.
Stop touching your ear.
Sorry. Put your hand down.
In this opening scene, the man in the crowd was called out for having his hand up. He's holding onto his earpiece.
Put your hand down.
And he was so caught up in that motion that he forgot. And it was a giveaway. It started the whole scene.
Right.
We found a way around that by inventing something that didn't exist. It was a harness that was body worn, a receiver that would be in our ear that we never had to touch, and an induction loop that went around our neck.
Right.
So we could receive and it would transmit to the earpiece. It was a no hands kind of system.
Perfect.
Wow, that's crazy.
Pink Panther.
I think you will like this one very much.
I think I'm still blown away because people really do this. Not saying I ain't know people did it, but like just really hearing it, it just sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying?
For your face, I'm particularly proud of the enlarged pores. Look at this one right here. I wasn't crazy about it neither.
Wearing a disguise is not about looking good.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, it's a nose.
Although in this scene it was all about looking good.
You had a nose for noses.
So the officer didn't get to choose which nose he was going to wear. We would have made him a custom nose. He didn't get to choose the teeth. We would have made the teeth.
Here's some teeth on the house.
The hair.
This will keep you very warm.
The mustache.
That is too legal.
A goatee if it was there. A lot of that would have been custom made. Some of it could be off the shelf. What we were interested in is giving him a total look that he didn't have to like, but he had to wear it. We had to feel that he would wear it.
Look at you.
Right.
Nobody left our labs looking better.
You're a genius.
Our labs looking different.
My dear boy.
The next clip is a worker uniform, 24.
Hey, my boy Spencer off of C.I.A. In between the lines, there's a line of spiritual. Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
This entire country will know what we look like in the next few hours.
People do that with military uniforms. There are a lot of uniforms that are just universally recognized.
There are hundreds of video cameras in there.
Oh, those are repairmen. They're fine.
Anyone asked? We're working on the air conditioning.
Get into one of those groups and you disappear and your identity becomes the identity of the group, and that's a good thing.
I didn't agree to this.
We don't have stores of maintenance uniforms or military uniforms.
We've got nothing here.
But we can arrange anything.
Fine, let's get this over with.
Cover story, Argo.
Just a little further.
Ben Affleck is playing my husband, Tony Mendez, in the movie Argo.
My name is Tony Mendez.
It's a story of an
What?
exfiltration, one of many exfiltrations that
And that's your husband? Wow. This is crazy, bro. What in the
my
world?
husband undertook over the years.
More than 30 years ago, we undertook a secret mission to save 6 Americans trapped in Iran.
This was a very successful exfiltration.
I'm gonna get you home.
In this particular clip, the 6 house guests, as we call them, were using the cover of a Hollywood location scouting team.
Okay, search it out and take photographs. Production design.
That was a subject they thought they could easily talk about. They could talk about Hollywood
I don't know what the hell movie people do.
and be believable.
This would be a first.
So as a cover story, it was carefully selected.
We don't have any alternatives.
They came up with a Hollywood location scouting party.
They're a Canadian film crew on a location scout for a science fiction movie.
Rather than disguise them, we more restyled them.
These cover identities were created specifically for each one of them.
When they were choosing the cover for these 6 house guests,
What's your father's name?
Howard.
What's his occupation?
Fishing.
it was unique because it was a group of people, not just one person. They
Right,
had to find
right.
a cover that all 6 of them could believably speak about.
Believe
That's crazy. We like, just imagine, it's you. You can do this by yourself. You change up. Now it's like, we gotta move on to the next level, G. This is not just me no more. This is a whole group. One fall, we all fall. Domino effect. You know what I'm saying?
picture these people so much that you dream like them.
Looking at Argo gives us an opportunity to look at a real cover story and see how it was executed and see how it was carried off and to see that it performed its function. Masks, Mission Impossible. This is pure CGI.
Of course.
This is what we called an overhead mask.
Whoa.
We could change your gender, we could change your ethnicity, we could turn you into almost anything.
So wait a minute. So y'all really got this. This ain't that was just for the movie type. People really do this. My heart. What happened if your neighbor was not really who your neighbor was? Nigga wore that mask the whole time. No. I'm scared.
So we couldn't
No, I'm
guarantee
playing.
that this would animate.
Very sorry to hear you say
We
that.
were stuck with the measurements that we were presented with.
What's that?
Masks are always additive. You can't put a small nose over a larger nose. You have to make sure that your donor and your recipient are well matched.
Probably right.
We had some aluminum molds that came out of Hollywood. They came in large, medium, and small. The size large was an old Hollywood actor named Rex Harrison. So he was taking part in a lot of interesting operations without his knowledge, I think.
Jesus.
Let's move on to the second Mission Impossible. Those Mission Impossible ones are really good.
Are you sure about this?
You could make a mask with someone underneath it with their mouth taped closed, but I can't think for the life of me of a purpose for doing that.
You don't know what you're missing.
You can still breathe through the nose, but it's always a relief to know that you can also breathe through the mouth.
Yeah.
And so by taping the mouth, you really start restricting their air intake.
Freddy's gonna have choice.
How did they make these masks? Let's look at Mission Impossible 3. What if I said we had it? So you know when you go to the dentist and you have a dental
What?
impression taken? That's what we did to your whole face. Being very careful to keep your nose open so that you could breathe while this was happening.
Stop talking.
The mask that we just saw is a mixture of lights, CGI again, and they're flipping back and forth from the real actor to the actor wearing the mask, and it's invisible to tell where the real actor comes back.
Yo, that's crazy. She like, what happened if I told you I already got it? We didn't want to know that, though.
And it's animated. It's a trick. Wonderfully done.
Thanks.
So we'll go to Spy, Hidden Identities.
You'll be given a new identity.
Oh, no.
Your name is Penny Morgan. You're a divorced housewife from Iowa. You've sold more Mary Kay products than anyone else in your state.
It's a pretty funny take on being issued a new identity. Certainly not the identity that she wanted.
Why do I have 10 cats? Is that even legal?
She didn't get to choose.
I'm the vice president of the Ames Garden Club. I couldn't even be president.
The bits and pieces, the identity cards, the things they were issuing to her is what we would call pocket litter.
Well, there's the 10 cats.
Those would be the things that any of us would carry around in our billfold or in our purse.
That's a no.
There's a similarity here with the Pink Panther clip. She didn't like the identity that was being proposed, but then she didn't really get to choose.
Was Pepe Le Pew not available?
Cultural Customs, Inglorious Bastards.
Wie viele Gläser? Nun, für mich nicht.
Ich mag Scotch, Scotch mag mich.
Ich auch nicht, ich bleib beim Shampoos.
3 Gläser.
That ominous look tells you that something bad has just happened.
Haben Sie das gehört?
The British soldier counted wrong on his hands.
3 Gläser.
In Europe, when you're counting, you start with your thumb. 1, 2, 3. Doing it this way showed to him that he was not even European. Certainly wasn't German. It was a dead giveaway. We know from traveling around the world that every country has its own customs,
Einen sehr ungewöhnlichen Akzent.
and it's incumbent on us to learn those customs, to know those customs, and to not violate any of their procedures.
Weil Sie sich eben verraten haben. Hauptstoff.
Sometimes when you've been found out, there is no escaping. Once you've committed one of those errors, you have outed yourself, so to speak, and you kind of have to go with the consequences, whatever those consequences are.
Well, if this is it, old boy, I hope you don't mind if I go out speaking to kings.
Gadget Room, Kingsman.
Kingsman.
I've had a lot of fun with this. One of our finest examples of chemical engineering. The poison?
The poison in the pen, there's a real history to that.
Shut up.
We put a lot of things in pens. They were not
What?
equipped and they were not used as weapons. In some instances, they would conceal a camera. But we had a couple of scenarios with agents. They said, I will work for you, but I would like
Poison?
actually insist on having an L pill, which is a lethal pill.
Lethal.
Because I don't want to give them the opportunity to do what they would like to do to me.
Electric.
In 2 cases that I know of, we put L pills into fountain pens.
Remotely activated.
And in 1 case, our agent was captured and he was going to be interrogated, and he said, before I do that, give me my pen, I will write my confession. And they handed him his pen and he bit down on the tip. They said he was dead before he hit the floor.
Hell.
So there's a history to the poison in pens.
What about these? What do these do?
A couple of the other things in there are less historically correct.
That's
but
crazy.
wildly entertaining.
That is sick.
The scientist disguise the saint.
I'm here to do an interview with Dr. Russell. I'm going to expose her as a fraud.
He's wearing a disguise that would send most people away from him, and his demeanor is so
Very pretty eyes.
imposing and so
Pretty lady.
frightening in a way
She's boring the life out of me.
that draws attention, and you never want to draw attention. So
Right.
I would rate that disguise as a failure. Glasses as a disguise Superman.
Lois Lane, say hello to Clark.
I mean, it depends though. If let's say you had a disguise before that disguise, maybe that'd be better. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really trying to be noticed as a different person, maybe then that disguise would be good. But like just starting off with that disguise, probably not the best choice. You know,
What you want, Pete?
all that
Anyone who's
attention
ever
on you.
watched Superman wonders, Lois, can't you see?
Lois, have you got a minute? I was wondering if maybe you'd like to have a little dinner with me. Lois? Lois, maybe we can...
Clark is the newspaper reporter, and Superman is the superhero.
Excuse me. Easy, miss.
Physically, they're exactly the same.
Right.
Sounds kind of natural.
Superman's glasses are
First impression?
ridiculous.
Makes sense.
Poor Lois.
Yeah, poor Clark.
Breaking in, be kind, rewind.
There's that ladder again. What do you think? I don't know.
It was funny the first time I saw it, but to a professional eye, it looks sloppy. It looks poorly planned. When you planned an operation, you always had plan B. What if it goes wrong?
Let's go get some ice cream.
In my office, we had people that specialized in going into places that they should not be in.
I can't be here. What are you doing?
And doing things there that they should not do, perhaps.
Listen, you don't need me. You almost there. Speak to you.
Our operations were typically just meticulously planned. We never planned to be hiding behind a chain link fence. Nevertheless, I know some of our people that, not that they were caught, but that they got stuck where they had to stay in place, maybe for a day or two.
Wow.
Before they could leave.
You said a day or two.
Talking about aliases.
How to use the bathroom?
Powers.
Allow myself to introduce myself. My name is Richie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah.
Austin Powers makes you laugh.
Yeah, baby.
Alias names at C.I.A. are closely controlled, they are managed, they are assigned to you.
My name is number 2.
You end up with a name for your entire working career.
Come again.
Your true name is never on paper overseas.
Groovy, baby.
Wow, that's
would
crazy.
probably not be one of those names.
This is my wife, Oprah.
Any name that really drew attention would not be one of those names.
Cunningham, was it?
Richie Cunningham could be, but we always had a middle initial.
Danger's my middle name.
You always had 3 names. I mean, you could abbreviate the middle initial, but you always had 3 names.
Austin Danger Powers.
My name for life, my first name was Faith.
Very shagadelic.
And so whenever I see anything that has to do with faith, like keep the faith baby, I'm like, okay.
Oh, behave.
Furniture camouflage, Sherlock Holmes.
Who delivered this parcel?
The usual chap. Oh. Did he look peculiar?
We never tried to disguise ourselves in the furniture at the CIA.
That was crazy,
Like there was
though.
a story about James Comey at the White House.
That was
He
crazy.
was trying to blend into the curtains behind him. His suit and the curtains were the same blue.
Wearing a blue suit was trying to blend in with the blue
He was trying to hide that way, unsuccessfully.
Bro, how you try to blend in with the curtain? Nigga is straight visible. Nigga like this. Hi, teacher. Stupid.
Another furniture camouflage in this next movie called Spy Hard. We used furniture concealments for a number of things. Technology comes mostly to mind. If you had spy gear in your house and you're in a foreign country and it's a controlled society, you don't want your receivers and transmitters sitting around. So we would build them into selected pieces of furniture. Trying to remember
That's crazy.
if we ever had something like that for a person.
Can't see that.
We had some things that we built to exfiltrate people out of the country. Exfiltration containers could be in various configurations. At the International Spy Museum, we have an exhibit from Checkpoint Charlie, where a lot of people exfiltrated themselves out of the East. A lot of them were in car concealments. They would be special spaces built into cars for the purpose of exfiltrating that person across the border. Undercover accents, 22 Jump Street.
Everyone's saying that Barrio's sleepy. He like the Mexican Wolverine and shit.
You want to see the product? When he talking? My name is Jeff.
First of all, you would speak the language. You wouldn't try and use an accent.
I don't know, just talking about.
You should pay some people to study languages.
My name is Jeff. I promise, when that came out, the whole world name was Jeff. My name is Jeff. Did y'all see the Ghost Adventure one? Where it was like, hey, tell me your name. My name is Jeff.
To become fluent in the languages.
Diego and Swiper.
Swiper?
It's a made-up name.
They seem totally unprepared, and you sense that maybe they're going to get arrested, or worse. Disguising voice, The Dark Knight.
I want the Joker. You wanted me. Here I am.
Batman has a very specific disguise beyond his voice. The voice wasn't really even necessary.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
We tried to change voices.
What did you do?
We wouldn't use voice modulation technology, but we would try to physically change the palate of your mouth.
Wow.
To our dismay, it did not change your voice. It would just make you lisp.
Peanut butter chill forever.
And you could consciously try and change your voice. That's like consciously limping. After a while, you just forget, and your regular voice comes back. We had no success with that.
You're this similar folk. I can never be.
Cover
my
story,
friend.
Fletch.
Name's Liddy. Gordon Liddy.
Lord, take a look at the 7 fets of valve, will you? I think it's been sticking.
Probably humidity.
That's funny.
Maybe I should take a look at it.
Mordo. Back here?
Well, Fletch has made the mistake of not studying his cover story
Right.
well enough before he took it on the road.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We would always pick a cover story that our people could talk about intelligently.
It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. Hey!
We would never pick a professional area where they were clueless and where they would come off like Fletch did.
Gordon.
Yeah, I know where it is. I'm just getting a bird's eye view here.
Spy, Seduction, Alias. Stories about seduction in the espionage business are legion. Some of them are based on truth. There's a famous seductor who worked for American intelligence during the Cold War who did some
I'll never get
amazing
locked up.
things.
Ain't no
Went
way
into,
she no
cover
girl locking me
legacies
up.
and took some ciphers out of some safes.
Please let me go.
Most of the stories, though, have to do with the Russians and the Germans.
I swear to God.
The Russians even had a name for it, and they called them swallows. Although a friend of mine, Jason Matthews, wrote a book recently called Red Sparrow, and he called them sparrows. The Germans had men who were trained the same way, and they called them Romeos. So the use of sex to collect intelligence is not unheard
Wow.
of, and it's probably going on today.
Give me back my pen.
Speaking
I'm
of
pretty
Red
sure it
Sparrow,
is.
here's a clip from a seduction scene.
Why would a CIA officer fire his gun in the public park?
What do you want, Tommy?
According to his story, which he says is based on truth, they had a school where they trained young women in seduction.
Here we deal in psychological manipulation.
To quite a degree.
Take off your clothes.
If you can imagine that this was a school that produced graduates.
You must learn
Wow.
to love on command.
And Jennifer Lawrence is supposed to represent one of those successful graduates.
Goodbye, Dominica.
I think it presented to a lot of American audiences the idea that that was, that's a piece of the intelligence machine in Moscow.
Your body belongs to the state.
It takes it to another level. Now, you might want to ask me if the CIA has a school.
I suppose we'll find out.
And I would tell you we don't.
We mustn't be so judgmental.
This is a typically,
Of course, even if she did have a temple, whatever. I mean, a school for CIA agents, they probably can't tell you a lot anyway. Remember that. Okay, we can't give too much away. You can say this, but you can't say that. Of course. All right, Mary.
Russian technique.
The state asks something in return.
Clown disguise, James Bond.
Hey, is anyone else in there?
And now, identifying human cannonball.
I can't actually say whether a CIA officer has ever changed into a clown suit. There was a lot to be said for fitting into your environment, into your surroundings.
Suspect's wearing a clown suit. Over.
so you looked like one of them instead of an outlier.
I'm a British agent.
So in that regard, it makes a point.
For God's sake, tell him who I am.
During the Second World War, there was an agent named Virginia Hall who disguised herself as a shepherdess with a flock of sheep to conceal her prosthetic leg, and she was lethal.
You know, this man's either drunk or crazy.
What?
This kind of cat suit is a popular trope. Let's take a look at the Avengers 1998.
Man, hold on. I didn't even know it was the Avengers in '98. That's crazy. Golly.
They use climbing gear, but not really black cat suits.
You must be joking.
I think the reason is because women look so good in them. Or at least Hollywood women look good in them.
Right.
Most of our men, and probably a majority of our women, would not have been caught dead in a black cat suit. Dark athletic clothes are fine, but not a black cat suit.
I see.
Acting drunk with Veronica Mars.
How long must a girl play drunk and willing before someone tries to get her to take off her clothes?
I would not act drunk undercover, and I don't think most officers would, because it would defeat your purpose.
Are you having one?
I know officers who have gotten drunk undercover, but they didn't go in meaning to do that.
Oh, I'm having more than one.
Because a lot of the work used to be at those black tie affairs, where there was a lot of scotch, a lot of liquor running around.
I think I'd sooner drink Mark McGrath's bathwater than drink anything here.
We were told at the C.I.A. that there are things that you can drink and eat before you go that will coat your stomach and they'll help.
They think I'm drunk, or worse.
If you need to appear like you're drinking, you can do that without actually having alcohol. You can just tell the bartender, I want 7-Up.
Jackpot.
There are ways to go about it where you don't get drunk.
Awesome.
Conclusion.
The writers and directors do everything they can to get it really right. Half the fun for me is watching closely to see what they get wrong.
All right.
And that's a wrap.
We gotta give it up for y'all. Give it up. We'd have had so many interruptions while watching this video as far as advertisements go. But you know, we got through it and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? You get to see from a former C.I.A. agent, chef of disguise, you know what I'm saying? That did all this dang there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what, you know what I'm saying? But that's crazy, man, just to see her opinion on everything and see what they did right and what they did wrong. One thing we do know, some of these niggas got face masks on. So watch out. You might think you be talking to John when you really talking to Bill. Hey, make sure you know where you at for real. It's your boy Chip the General, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Make sure y'all like. Throw that thumbs up, man. Thumbs up. I need 100K likes. No, I'm just 100 likes, man. Let's get this video to 100 likes. It's your boy Chip the General. Guess what? I'm out. You fake niggas been there, try to come around. Let you slide with that swing, but it's not a playground. You'll get where Mary go. A round, tryna play tough in this hard part of town, clown. Quick to put a person in a place before I even learn nouns. If I sent you somewhere, I'm there. I'm like a bloodhound. Niggas tryna judge me like they were.